The left turn signal is out. The registration has expired.
I'm giving hand signals for this.
If
This
I'm
is
talking, nobody will see that.
but if they're watching the video, they'll see it, won't they? Or no?
No, it'll just be me because it
This whole
highlights
time.
who's talking. Have you watched any of our videos yet?
Actually, I haven't watched any YouTube.
Not one.
I've only watched the Instagram promotional. I've never watched our whole YouTube video.
What am I doing it for then? Like I put so much like graphics and videos.
You know what? Actually, I take that back. I watched the one with me and Laurel, just because I did like I did watch that, and I keep forgetting because I listen to the podcast when I'm driving. I'm not trying to watch YouTube. So
why not? Why not be illegal? I thought you were telling me to like stop. You're like,
well, like hand signals, left, right, stop.
I got it, but I'm like, I thought you were trying to tell me to slow down.
All right, this is a great start. This is
a
great start to the last show of the season. Go ahead and take 2, action.
The left turn signal is out. The registration has expired, and we missed our exit 15 miles ago. It's time to take the high road. Chugging along, chugging along, chugging along. All right, Yakobama, it's here. Season finale.
And they're going to
greatest show to ever be produced
in the last 2 weeks.
Well, we got to put a little bow on
spin
this
on
package.
It. Well, and it's like
package.
You watch those shows and like recent shows, Ozark, or some would say Breaking Bad, and as far as a little less recent, and how the season finale kept getting better and better, or like just like kept you on your toes, and that's what we're gonna try to do here. We're gonna try and keep you.
Nope, that's not us.
Oh, I guess we miscommunicated that vision. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna try and get through this show and say our goodbyes for the season. I know I'm gonna give you a second. Go ahead and cry it out.
You're talking to me or the
James? Moment of silence for our audience who are taking a moment to take in this sadness. All right, they're over it. Okay, so yes, I'm in Chicago now, and me and James wanted to do one more episode before we call it a hold or a finish to the first season and enjoy some summertime with our kids or his kid. Well, he's gonna enjoy time with his kids.
Whoa!
But
what kids are you spending time with?
We're my sister's kids. It's been rough. The acclimatization, that's more for weather. My adjustment to dealing with 3 kids in a house that are chaotic and loud, and I need some time to adjust. I definitely can't just jump right into it and not lose my mind sometimes with how crazy it gets here. But yeah, definitely want to take a break and enjoy time with friends and family. And so we're gonna do one last episode for this season.
Yeah. Hey, it might be forever. You never know. We gotta negotiate our contracts for next season.
It might be forever. Jake's enthusiastic, crossing his fingers that this is it. No. Absolutely, it was a fun time. I'm glad I got to talk to people and interview a few people in person, and it's been fun actually doing this with you, James. And so I'm glad we did it. We'll I hope we get it back up and going again, late summer, early fall, and we're not too busy or just decide to not keep giving effort. But it's been a blast. It's been a headache sometimes, but I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, it's been good to like catch up once a week, hang out. Well, pretty much once a week. And just see where you've been.
Yeah, I mean, I've been taking the high road quite a bit, and some of it we share, and some of it I don't. Some of it is very boring. Some of it is boring, and I do share. So you kind of get a mix of everything. But I definitely want
boring, not shared, boring, shared, just boring and boring.
Right, and then some good stuff. No, but I hope everyone that I visited and or we interviewed on the show had a good time and it was enjoyable, because that's really the goal we've been trying to do is having fun, making it funny, and just like hearing people's stories, because I think we both have groups of friends that are fun and entertaining, and just because that's what I think we are. But definitely gonna reach out to friends and family and kind of see if there's certain things that they wanted to hear that we kind of did that they liked and then we didn't go back to it, or maybe they were over maybe we kicked a dead horse with some topics. So definitely looking to improve for next season and maybe have some new equipment and have some new ideas. But we're gonna just workshop it and see it hopefully in a couple months.
Yes, maybe we'll see. No problem. I'm not making any promises.
I hope people enjoyed that music month for May. I think we for couple amateurs as far as talking about topics, going to an actual event that involved live music, which I think is coming back in full force now since COVID. I think it feels like it's more normal again, and you still see people wearing masks outside at these things, but that's their comfort zone. Cool. I'm kind of over judging people over little stuff like that doesn't affect me, but
Yeah,
I still laugh at it.
well, we'll just judge people on their musical choices. That's
Right.
fine. Yeah.
But no, May was fun. But I'm glad it's June and I'm in Chicago hanging out with my sister and the kids and doing flag football again. Definitely, it takes up more of my time and so I'm just thinking of stuff to do. I'm actually doing stuff.
Yeah, you're going to be pretty busy for the next few months now, right? Season's going to start early fall, or when is it?
You can start practicing in August, and then first game is end of August, and then if we get all the way, the state championships are middle of October. So I'll probably go home before 4th of July, maybe next week, and I got a couple appointments and things to take care of, and then I'll just drive home to Texas, take care of what I need to for a few days or a week, and then come back for 4th of July. That's kind of been my go or what's the word? Tradition. So the last 3 summers I've been here hanging out with my buddy Mac and Linda and their son Caden for 4th of July, usually the day before, and their neighborhood does a bunch of fireworks, and then I'll hang out with my sister and the kids on 4th of July, and we usually check out the fireworks and all that cliche stuff. But
Nice.
before we get into the rest of the summer, James, we'll do a little shout out to some of the listeners that actually not contact us, but communicate with us some of their opinions with the music stuff.
Nope, don't want to do that.
Okay.
Well, I honestly didn't get much feedback. Did you have some people reach out to you?
Yeah, it was just more friends texting me. So I mean,
oh, not like industry professionals looking to
no,
hear
no
your
one
real
important, no one important, just my friends.
Right.
But no, I was glad they text and said something, and at least said, and it's not, and they're my friends because I know that if they're telling me something and it feels like it's constructive criticism, I think it comes from a good place. But me and Dakota, the one who texted me about Alanis Morissette, I think he was just trying to bust my chops, and I don't think he's super into her, but I think he just wanted to just not dig at me, but kind of be like, oh, you didn't want to get a shout out to like a female lead artist. And I actually I thought of her, but then I was just like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to research it. So that's why I brought it up before we started the show, a little shout out to Alanis Morissette. But once again, like I said earlier to you offline, Jagged Little Pill in 95, that album was, I think, popular to the level it should be. I think it wasn't underrated. I think she got a big following, and either you like that genre or you didn't. So shout out to my buddy Dakota for mentioning that.
Yeah, we definitely focus on more underrated stuff, and I wouldn't say her album was underrated. She went on a heck of a run there for about a year or so. Couldn't go a day without hearing an Alanis Morissette song, I don't think, or seeing a video.
That's what I'm saying. Or she was in movies too. Like she had some good run there for I think like a year or two, like you said.
Yeah, I actually did get feedback. So our friend Scott Jackson out in Clovis, California, better known as Nine, he just sent me one. He said, "Been enjoying the podcast stuff. If you do Just Like Heaven Festival next year, I'd be down to go." And I told him, nope, we are strictly taking only people from
that we like.
No, so I said, yeah, man, we'll let him know. So
dude, that's great. That's great, because me, you, and him went to Coachella, and was that 0406 when he went with us?
I think it was 06.
I feel like I was stationed in Hawaii, and I came back, and it was me, you, and him, and we were just sweating our butts off. And we saw Metric. Remember, he threw his sunglasses up on the stage, and she picked them up and then put them on. Yeah, I remember. Pie. You know what? I had fun with Pie.
We're talking about Nine. We're not talking about Pie. That's two different people.
I mean, sorry.
Pie hates our show.
When it was all of you guys hanging out, I felt like certain people were like closer than others, and I felt like kind of I was still your friend that joined that group of circle. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was all of us that moved down to Southern California, and it was 9, Scott,
Scott, yeah.
Ty, Josh, me, Ben, and Chris.
But and who had
So
been friends longer?
I was probably the last person of those friends. Those guys all grew up in the church together from like elementary school.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry. And all these nicknames, I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like
I know people listening are like, what the hell are they talking about?
and I don't even know where I know you probably have told me the stories where Nine got his name and Pi got his name, and I that's why I usually just called them by their real name because I didn't but yeah, I don't know Pi and probably Nine. Both Josh and Scott didn't like me. But that's okay. You know what? I think they tolerated me because I was your friend.
That's a possibility.
But tell Scott Jackson, also known as Nine, that I would definitely like that he or would want him to go along with us next year.
All right, we'll do. He's probably listening.
All right, then that was directly to you. 9, not Pi. Pi, you're still not invited.
Oh,
That was
dear.
slip of the tongue. But I was in the sun for 3 hours, and we were doing the flag football, and I just came straight home. I haven't even showered yet. But deodorant, Old Spice, stands strong. So I wanted to get in here and record the show because I feel like if we didn't do it today, we weren't getting it done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there, yeah, I liked the music month. That was by far my favorite, just because the topics seemed to come more natural. And I don't know. I think when we first started out for this, it was just us like BSing and busting balls, and then realized maybe we need a little bit more structure. And then we're like, well, what's our structure? We don't know. So then we had a whole month of just to focus on something specific. That was easier for me as the, de facto producer of the show, I guess, to like understand what we were doing each and every week.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you think we missed or like we want to touch on that we just to sum it up and bring it full circle?
Well, no, and I guess just to go back as far as soliciting from our friends and family and the 12 listeners, we definitely want to make this show better, or like continue to challenge ourselves to make it funnier, to make it more interesting. And like James said, we kind of were just random topics that we'd have to research, and like it's not easy to have material, one, to have a topic and then talk on it entertainingly or educationally or just making fun of it in a good spirited way. And I thought we did, we did the inauguration, we did the Grammys, and I felt like we did the best way. It almost like I feel like I want to be having a friendly conversation, like as if our podcast is, if we were sitting in a circle, hanging out by, a fire pit and just hanging out, drinking some beverages and laugh. I feel like our group, I was always laughing or having a good time, even like sitting down at dinner for just, a few of us. So I just kind of wanted to have that vibe, but also have witty, creative stuff. And that's more on James. That's in James' lane. I just kind of showed up with this, and I'd like to continue talking about some sports because I think that's a big part of a lot of people's lives. But I don't know, if that's something that we're going to continue to stress on with late lines with Doug. I think we could have Doug on and still joke about other stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But I definitely, just a heads up, to listeners and to James, I will probably be pretty consumed. I know it's only high school flag football, but come flag football time, I'll probably want to talk a lot about that, but also current events to keep it, interesting and not just the same topic every time. So just, roll with it. Go ahead and roll.
I'm rolling down the hill.
But yeah, no. So we kind of just want to do this last episode and wish you guys all a fun summertime. And I know, kids get the summer off and teachers get the summer off, but the rest of the world, our general population, has got to work year round and only get some vacation time. So make sure you're prioritizing your time. Priority 1 is listening to our podcast, and then 2, spending time with your friends and family. All right. So just make sure it's balanced this summer and just don't work your life away.
Yeah. Go back, listen to the whole catalog of stuff.
Yeah, if you're on summer break, like a teacher or somebody who has long vacation, and you don't catch up on our podcast before next season, Shame on you.
Well, somebody else needs to watch our shows too.
I listen to every single podcast. I've only watched maybe one of the YouTubes. I just that's like double watching. Like, why
Are you committed or not? That's the question.
do you okay, if I watch come next season, if I you know what, I'm gonna go back and watch every single one from last season. I'm gonna critique you on every single one. I'm gonna tell you what you should have done to make it better. How about that?
Good. Yeah, that's what I want.
Because I feel like you've been just telling me every week what I could be doing better, and I don't listen. But I hope you listen.
When have I done that?
You're like, oh, you complain that I don't do research, and I kind of just I don't
You
know.
call yourself out for not doing research. I
That's
don't call you.
that's fine. I can call myself out. All right, but you need to call yourself out a little bit more, James.
All right. Well, I will. I'll call myself out for
That
being.
there's a bright shiny streak.
I know. Do you see it? I'm an
Yeah.
angel. I'm angelic.
There's no way you can just tilt the camera a little bit?
I am gonna tilt it. Give me a second. Ready?
Oh no, this could be bad. There we go. No shine.
Oh, all right.
right.
So nothing left on the music stuff. I
Nothing
had a
left.
couple. I had a couple things.
Oh, well then I got some too.
I was just gonna say. I mean, there's, like I said multiple times, so I'm gonna sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I think if we would have done a podcast every day for a week about underrated 90s songs or 90s albums, and we didn't even get into the 2000s, more mid 2000 indie stuff that we'd listen to, I would have a different song or different album every day just because there was so much of it. And I was realizing when I was looking at a lot of songs is the 90s were just so big on like the one hit wonders, but I would even say it was like a 2-hit wonders. Like you had like these albums that you'd buy and you'd hear the song on the radio, be like, cool, you get the album, you'd love that song, you'd try to find another one, and it'd only be like one more. And then those bands would kind of fade away. But it would kind of hit me, and I wish I had the list written down. I had it and I threw it away weeks ago when we were doing all this, but it dawned on me that it was like a 2-hit wonder decade where you like had one good song or one great radio song, and you had one good song on your album that with that same song, and then it was just after that, and then I never heard from you again.
I immediately thought of the band Lit when they came out with "Got You Where I Want You," and that was like a huge hit. And then they had like a second good song, radio song, and then that was kind of it for them. So it's funny you said that because I immediately thought of the band Lit.
Yeah,
who actually on TikTok there people were using that song, and it was like got a little bit popular a couple months ago because
did it? Nice.
Yeah, people were like, "Where is this banger from?" And like the '90s. Hello.
Yeah, I had like a couple bands written down, like the Oleanders had a couple of ones, Our Lady Peace. And you know what's funny, like Candlebox, remember how big that band was in like the early 90s?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even like most of their radio songs, but Soul Asylum, like they just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many bands that we didn't even hit on. And then I was also looking at like 1996 and what just a great year that was. Listen to these albums that came out. Cakes, Fashion Nugget, Presidents of the United States, their second album, even though their first album, like the songs were still big in 96 because it came out in 95. Soundgarden, Down on the Upside, Pearl Jam, No Code, Stone Temple Pilots, Tiny Music from the Vatican, from the Gift Shop Vatican. Weezer, Pinkerton, Radiohead, The Bends, Eels, Beautiful Freak, and then you had some indie albums like The Wrens, Sea Caucus, Neutral Milk Hotel on Avery Island, Modest Mouse, This Is a Lonely Drive, and then Built to Spill album. I can't remember which one it came out in 96, but it was just like, whoa, and that was like half of the ones that I realized that after I was looking, I started writing them down. So
Yeah,
that was a great year for music.
I concur.
All right, so that there's just a little like extra notes I had on the music whole thing that we never really got to last month.
Yeah, I think we just like you said, scratched the surface and tried to talk as much as we could about the specific genre or decade. But I think we could have talked easily had 8 episodes of talking about music. But I think a month, 4 episodes is good. Got that one interview, one and a quarter interview. Thanks,
yeah,
John.
Thanks a lot, John. No,
John.
We definitely have John back on. That was fun. Just those few minutes with him. I think maybe next year, if we do a certain thing, we could talk about maybe our favorite concert experiences. Maybe hit more of the mid 2000s albums.
Yeah, let's tentatively plan to do another month of music for next May, and we can add something that we didn't really talk about. But yeah, I definitely have John back for another 10 minutes on an episode and maybe talk about some movies or something.
Definitely.
But yeah, so yeah, it's about to be full swing summer with everybody. So we wanted to talk a little bit about some summer fun and 4th of July plans, and then kind of wish you all a farewell for now. So James, what do you like most about 4th of July?
I love the fireworks and the garbage that I have to pick up afterwards. Like I love just like cleaning the like streets and just like all the soot and stuff. I love it. I love it.
Okay,
No.
that's
You know what I like about it is just hanging out. I mean, it's a reason to party, you know, for the most part. And we're kind of coming back to John Frank. That's where we'll be for 4th of July. We'll be at the Frank compound in Clovis, California. So that'll be fun. He does it right out there. He has a big old. You've been there, right?
yeah, it's pool and
Yeah,
barbecue and all that.
yeah. So you got a big old backyard that we just do some mostly legal fireworks. Drinking some beers, doing some barbecues,
What's
doing
your
donuts
James,
in the golf cart that he's got.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. What kind of beers you drinking on?
No, I'm not non-alcoholic at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't you not drinker anymore or not
Yeah.
currently drinking? However,
You know, it's funny. I said I initially was gonna go till June. I hit June. I was like, no, I actually feel pretty good finally after 5 months.
6 months of detox. You know,
Finally, my body's like, oh yeah. But I said maybe for 4th of July I'll start drinking a little bit. So be ready. Hey, everybody at the party, be ready because I'm gonna be stumbling. I'm gonna look like Will Ferrell and what is it when he goes to the party?
Shot by a dart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I well, you know, and then it's cheaper too. Like you like get a 6-pack and you only drink like 3 of them. It's like, all right, that wasn't too expensive. But we were, 10 years ago when we were drinking and liquor or beer, it's like, oh, get at least a 12 or 18 pack, bro. It's like it's 4th of July. We need at least a 12 pack each. Now it's like, I might finish a 6-pack. A lot cheaper.
You might just by yourself.
I traveled on my road trip, my 30-day to California, and then back horseshoe back to Chicago. I had 3 beers in my cooler the whole time, and I finished with 2 beers still in my cooler. So I just didn't feel like drinking. I'm just big on the soda water now, and trying to not feel like doo-doo the next day. I just three or more beers, or I don't even drink really liquor anymore. So I just, yeah, I feel better. I don't really miss it. I can still have fun not drinking.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna like be craving it big time, but not really. Every once in a while, I'll accidentally go to get like wine for Lori and like go to take a drink. I'm like, oh no. I mean, well, not that it's that big of a deal, but I'm like, oh, I kind of forget, but I don't ever like crave it. It was funny when we were at the concert. I was telling Lori the story. I got 3 drinks. I don't remember who the third one was for. I got myself like a water or whatever those slushy things were. I got Lori a beer and somebody else a drink, and I was bringing it back, and her beer was just like overflowing. And I'm like, well, I don't want it spilling all over my arm, so I just kind of did that thing to get it off the top. my body like literally like I could be like, ugh. Like I felt it. It gave me like a little like jolt of like, oh, I might have had a problem. Not really, but
more,
yeah, just like oh, yeah.
That was
the itch.
Yeah, I think your body did need that 6-month detox, man. But yeah, so yeah, and I say, oh, I don't drink. I don't say I don't drink anymore. I drink dramatically less. I think this 4th of July, I'll end up having a couple beers. You know, it's American, yeah. So, but I'll go home, take care of a few things, end of June, and then drive right back up here to Chicago and enjoy the 4th of July festivities. Last couple of years, I've been coming up here watching fireworks with my buddy Mac, Linda, and their kid Caden live about 45 minutes from my sisters, like southwest, and they usually go to Wisconsin. I'm sorry, I shouldn't divulge too much, but I can neither deny nor confirm if their fireworks show is legal or not. But they usually have a good little neighborhood fireworks either day before 4th of July, like the 3rd, obviously, or a lot of times it'll end up on a random weekday or whatever. So I can go to that and then go to my sister's that same day or the next day and enjoy going to the parade with her and the kids and going to another fireworks show. So that's kind of been the routine. And the other one we did a couple times was my sister's coworkers, one of the teachers at her high school invited us over to their house, and they have a pretty cool, like, not, I wouldn't say block party, but they have both two houses that put on parties, but like kind of different group of friends. But the backyards are no fence, so it's kind of shared. So we'd go over there and hang out, and then go next door. And then the next door neighbors, they both have big hills in their backyard. Probably, I don't know what the degree of slant is, but you essentially steep enough where they put a whole strip of industrial plastic down the neighbors hill, and then they just added water and that dish soap, and these kids were just zinging down. And then it was at least 40-50 feet. It was a blast. And of course, after a few beers, I was like, maybe I should try this. I tried it 1 year, and then that was it. It was tough to stop moving. That grass gets all up in you if you don't stop. But it was just super cool, a good barbecue, and all the kids having fun with sparklers, and the adults just hanging out on the patio, drinking and eating for 4 or 5 hours. But that slip and slide was money. I think that it was a good party. And then, of course, the smart person I am, a few years back, drinking heavily and then going to light fireworks was probably not the best idea. But I went unscathed, but it was just like risk management totally failed. Drinking, and we're setting them up, leaning them on stuff, and just not smart moves for grown-ups. But I wasn't in full charge. I was more of just a secondary, and we were just launching like mortars and stuff like that. And I was like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. So I stopped doing that.
Hey, you only live once,
Could be short-lived if you make bad decisions.
True. Yeah, 4th of July will be fun. Are you doing any other traveling other than?
No, I mean, like I said, I'll come back. I'll drive home real quick. Maybe stop and see. Should be stopping in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to visit a Navy buddy and his family, and really just get home and take care of yard work and mail and a few appointments, and then kind of just make sure everything's good on my life back in Texas, and then come back here and And actually, I forgot to mention for 4th of July, I guess my sister and the flag football team or a certain amount can come, but I guess we're going to be there. I think I might be going. I don't care if I am or not, but go on the float for one of the floats for the 4th of July parade for her small little town of Palatine. And so we'll do that and for actual 4th of July. But right after that next following weekend is the Nike flag football tournament that Nike invited. I think it was 20 high schools in the state to participate in that. So we'll be doing that, even though I don't even know what players we're going to have. We're kind of just, people are on vacation, people are doing stuff. They have paid vacations or jobs. And so hopefully we have a good time and don't get slaughtered for that Nike flag football tournament come July. And then I'll probably hang out and then go home one more time just to check on my place. And then I'll spend the next 2.5 months probably up here doing flag football and watching my sister's kids play all their sports and just have good family time.
Sounds cool.
So what do you got? What's your timeline? I know my sister's two of my sister's kids are still in school, but they're all getting out this Friday. So I think that's the same thing with you in the Cali area right now, right?
Yeah, they'll be done this Thursday, and then right after, well, probably on Father's Day this Sunday. Happy Father's Day, by the way. We will be driving to Clovis to participate in a I guess they call it VBA, not VBS, Vacation Bible something. I don't know. It used to be Vacation
Academy?
Bible School. Yeah, maybe. That our friend Justin DeBoss is putting on. So James will actually be like attending it. Everton will be helping out, like putting it on for the week. And I think that I might be helping as well. So we'll be gone for a week while Lori is still doing summer school. Then we'll come back and they'll have like basketball camps, couple basketball camps, James Lily will do like a diving camp. Still have soccer going on. Her soccer's 12 months a year. We don't really have any other plans other than they'll be away at like sleepaway camp for, I think it's like July 14th or whatever. So Lori and I might try to do something that week. But as far as like big vacation, we don't have any plans this year or anything like that.
Yeah, I can't relate because obviously I'm not married, no kids, but all I can kind of advise or at least say that, I've seen people in, not prioritize and then they just stay in a funk, if you will, or maybe just don't find they need, I'm gonna just stop talking. No, but like don't
You
have to have big.
as a marriage counselor, what do they
Right.
need?
Well, no, but I'm just saying in general, you don't need to make big plans. They don't need to be perfect plans. Just do something. You know what I mean? And like it might not end up well, like, oh, it's like me and you going to paddleboard. I could think of two or three reasons not to do it. Like, oh, it's too
Yeah.
windy, or we don't have enough time, or I'm tired. And it's like it's not that much work, and I'm out of town vacation's a little more logistical effort, but I you got to find time for yourself and your family, and even if it's nothing extravagant, like just something different besides just hanging out at home or just going to their sports games, like that's the routine. Like get out of the routine and do something fun and different and try something you haven't tried, and it doesn't have to be skydiving, just something different.
Yeah, it's tough with like Lori's like summer school and to
Yeah,
so
I
we
mean,
basically only get like a month of you know time
actually,
off.
an open window where there's
Yeah.
not conflicting stuff almost every day.
Yeah, so we'll have July, but then again, they'll have like a couple camps. They'll be on a sleepaway, which will be fun. They'll be gone for a week, so we'll have either the house to ourselves for a week or go on like a little trip or do something.
Yeah, do something crazy at the house. You know what I mean?
Set up some apparatuses.
Whoa. No, I wasn't thinking that. But yeah, do that if you want. Like, no. Yeah, it's a bummer because if you do have the spouse that's full time or doesn't get a lot of time off or doesn't have the same time off or same period of vacation as you, yeah, like you almost got to find separate activities without them and just work that piece. So I don't envy that. I definitely don't have to uh confer with anyone. I can just do what I want. So I have no advice for that. But definitely it's summertime. Like enjoy it unless you're in Texas, which I don't plan to be in Texas very long. It's hot. And find a place where you want to be active, where you want to go. And if that's going up north or going to the beach or something. But yeah, tell me what you end up deciding to do if there's any fun activities. At least we'll talk about it next season on how extravagant your summer was.
How extravagant our apparatuses are.
Yeah, just maybe give them some star ratings and give a link. We'll give a link on our page of
Yeah.
with a discount code. Maybe we'll get a sponsor finally for that type of stuff. I don't know. We'll take money. We'll take it from anyone really.
We're not picky. We're not choosy. We're not judgy.
Nope.
Um.
The
So,
only donations our money we won't take is from Hamas. That's it for now.
well, speak for yourself.
Oh, okay.
So the Texas thing, like you don't seem to be spending much time in Texas. Like, what are you thinking about your houses? Are you just gonna try to rent both of them out? What's going on here? Oh, what happened? Did you cramp up?
I'm grabbing up. Like, sorry, hold on. Trying to straighten out my leg.
I had no idea that question was gonna cause such agony.
Ah. Oh. Oh.
This is 40.
Okay. Whew. I literally just like pulled up my heel to like bring the chair forward and oh God. I need to roll. And hydrate. What was the question? I was in too much pain. Can you say it again?
So what are you gonna do about Texas? You don't seem to be spending much time there. You got plans to like rent both houses out, sell them, move, find a better life. What's going on there?
I'm just hoping I ignore everything and it just goes away. No, well, my tenants are finally like the San Antonio house with the tenants. The head tenants have been bad. It's just with repairs and stuff that they've been identifying that should have got fixed before they moved in, and the delay with that. It was been a headache the last 6 to 8 weeks with that, and then my primary residence in Fort Worth where I live and temporarily visit. I just not feeling it. I don't have the group of. I had only a handful of friends in San Antonio and same in Fort Worth, and now I don't even really have a lot. A couple. Like 2 couples that I hang out with, and yeah, it just doesn't feel like home. But I like my house. I'm comfortable in my house. I don't think that's the place I want to be long term. So like I've mentioned before in multiple probable episodes is I think Knoxville's knocking on my door. I see myself staying in Fort Worth as my primary residence probably for the next 6 to 12 months, but I wouldn't be surprised if if I'm driving up from Knoxville up to Chicago next fall.
What is it closer? It's closer, right?
Yeah, it's instead of 15 hours from Fort Worth, it's only 9 hours from Knoxville. But then I'm even closer to my friends that are in the Carolinas, and even getting to Florida is faster. So it just, and I really was vibing on the town, and Knoxville University's there, and I like the river, right? I mean, it's just way more things that I like about Knoxville than I like about San Antonio or Fort Worth. So I love Texas. They're very pro gun, pro veteran, um, and I've definitely enjoyed the perks as a disabled vet, but I don't think it's my state forever. So yeah, we'll see. So to answer your question, probably just keep living at the Fort Worth house. Got a few things I got to fix. You know how that goes. You just, oh, I need a new fence, or I need new something, and I'm kind of just holding off on that. But I'd like to get it fixed up and rentable and ready. Hopefully by the fall or early next spring, and then just continue to do my road trips and not have to even worry about coming back to a house that I got to do the yard work and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, Jake, why don't you hire some yard maintenance personnel? It's like, no, because I don't like how I don't trust people. I don't want them on my property. I don't want them ruining something. So I just been letting it get to a jungle in the backyard and spend 4 to 5 hours when I get home to clear it up.
That sounds fun.
Well, it gets me outside. I'm not lazy, and yeah, I think some of my friends might say I'm just being cheap and don't want to pay someone to do it, and that's kind of accurate. So, but yeah, I definitely would love, and to the caveat on Knoxville is they have flag football that's just gotten sanctioned for high school, so I could maybe, and their season, majority of their high schools are their seasons in the spring, so I could live in Knoxville, coach in the spring, and then still come up and enjoy summer, still do road trips in the early summer, late summer, and then coach here up in Chicago in the fall. So I think it might work out with starting a new life in Knoxville. We'll see.
Well, see you there. You have plans to travel there then this summer? Check it out again or no? After season, before season?
I have that 2 week window in July, so we'll see if you and Lori maybe want to fly out there. I don't know if I'd want to drive and just put the miles on my car. So I'd be down to maybe fly out there, meet you guys, get a rental car, and just maybe spend a couple days hanging out with you guys and check it out, and give me the lowdown on your opinion of that area, and then make sure I'm just not little not voice of reason, but if you guys are vibing on it too and think it's a cool city, then not expecting you guys to move there, but just if it seems like a pretty cool city, I think people are more inclined to come visit you. And with Gatlinburg only 45 minutes away, that tourist trap, like, definitely feel like people would be more inclined to come through or visit.
Yeah. Maybe. Hey, maybe. We'll see. We got to sign off on it.
I'm hoping. No, and once again, I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm okay with that right now. It's not ideal of what I want, but I do appreciate the time I have to go visit all my friends and family all around the US, and they have their lives and still have kids at home and still have full-time jobs, and they can't just get up and go and do a vacation like I can. So, I don't really mind going to visit people and going out of the way, just because I get life. I understand it. And, unfortunately my friends are just all spread out throughout the US, and that's what I'm doing with my life right now, is making the most of the time with friends and family and loving coaching flag football.
All right. Well, is that your sign off? Are we done? Is that your farewell? That was a good little farewell speech. That's why I asked.
Oh, well, I mean, I figured we talked about what we wanted to talk about, and I don't want to keep rambling on, so you can just find things to make fun of me about. So I guess we could end it here.
Well,
no,
oh, go ahead.
No, but no, tell Lori I said thanks for,
not listening to one episode of this show.
Exactly. No, but I mean, this takes time away from you, from stuff for the family, and I'm sure you're up editing late at night, right? And so that's a sacrifice you're doing for this thing that we're trying to do. And so I appreciate your kids and Lori maybe feeling a little of that sacrifice with you not being able to spend all the time with them. And so tell them I said thanks.
Newsflash, I moved out 2 weeks ago. It's just
You actually I can't. You're like, I can't stand. This is my escape is doing this, Jake. So we need to keep doing this.
Yeah. I told her the podcast takes priority. I've been living in the shed for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
She lets me
No,
inside to film.
it's been fun, and I hope the listeners come back when we come, if we come back, and I hope we do, and I hope we keep making it fun and entertaining, and interviewing our friends and guests, and yeah, I hope this turns into something a little bigger, and we continue to have fun and just bring some laughs to people through our podcast or through the video. And James, I apologize. That's on me. You didn't really verbalize that expectation. So now I feel it's a resentment toward me, but I have no problem critiquing your work. I'll review it and get back to you.
I love it. Yeah, I think, what was I going to say? So it was fun doing this. It was fun catching up all the time. I would have loved to have like more interviews, right? But time doesn't always allow it, people's schedules and stuff. But I think just having those people on to have like another person, another ear, another voice in the room was pretty cool. It'd be cool to do that again. And as far as like I was going to say one episode that we didn't get on our YouTube was because the copyrights finally got us for having too much. It was the one that we did our music videos, and that was one of my favorite episodes. So it's on Spotify if you guys want to listen to it on Spotify.
There's no YouTube for it.
Yeah, there's no YouTube for it. I think it's I think it's the episode entitled. Yeah, it's let me see. Let me make sure I got it right.
It's an entitled episode. What does it think it should get?
No, it's titled, Can
okay.
I Get the Salad? Easy on the lettuce, heavy on the LSD. And I think that was maybe one of my favorite episodes when we were talking about the music videos that we grew up with. Unfortunately, they kind of knocked us off of YouTube because we did have too many videos. And I think it's like the older guys, like when you have like Michael Jackson and Genesis and all those, the rights for the YouTube stuff isn't there, but the newer guys understand like this is how they get their songs out here and their videos out there, so they're not as strict. So go listen to that one. It's funny. But yeah, I think that's all I got. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, it's been great, and thanks everyone for contributing and contacting us for ideas, and for those of you that didn't listen and are listening now, about time. About darn time.
You missed 6 months of just pure, unadulterated bliss.
Genius, really. No, but no, I would like to say, hey, just last thing is definitely want to expand our interview pool, right? Not just our friends and family, but anyone that's, wants to start being a part of it, and just having maybe some random cool guests on, or somebody that went to the Just Like Heaven concert last year, and then we end up talking to them this next year, and we end up interviewing them. Just little stuff like that where you just have those connections, and it doesn't matter who we're talking to. We have fun with it.
Yeah, I was trying to get some rioters down in LA to be on today, but no go.
Busy cleaning the poop off their hands.
All right, man. Well, enjoy your summer. Enjoy coaching football.
I will. Thank you. And I'll text you offline about how we do for the Nike tournament. But thanks everyone for listening and being around. And James, we'll talk soon and catch up about life and all that good stuff. I'll text you next week.
Bye.
Peace out.